Hey, welcome back everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in Rust to talk about that Rust Console Edition for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, next generations, and everything in between. And today's a bit of well, kind of a mixed bag a little bit, but we're talking about power surge and custom servers and how they're creeping soon, and how custom servers, or I should say power surge, is definitely related to the release of custom servers. And we'll go over it. And we'll also go over some of the bits and pieces that'll be coming out for Power Surge, also known as electricity. And let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so on the devblog 6, this was quite some time ago, they were talking about Oceanbound and Power Surge. And as you know, both, well, I should say Oceanbound is out, but Power Surge should be next. So let's go ahead and go upstairs real quick and kind of give you the rundown here, and then we'll go over some of the why we think that custom servers are definitely interlinked with, or Power Surge is interlinked with custom servers. Okay, so if you're looking at this chart here, you can see that we have, and these are typical numbers here, and again, this is me speculating and putting it out here, but so far we've got Fishing Village and Oceanbound that are now out. That's why there's an X in there. The green line represents the main branch Rust. This top branch here, the A, B, and C, represents PTB and things being added, so you can see the different colors that get thrown into the timeline for main. So as you can see, we're just waiting for Power Surge, the purple section. So, and we're currently at the orange gap here. That's sitting right in between B and C, which is Oceanbound and Power Surge. Now, I don't know how long this takes. It's again, the 1 month is typical time for this. We're already about, what is it, a week? I think, yeah, like a week officially into it. I don't know. I feel like the timeline's a bit more aggressive. I don't know for sure, but typically it's anywhere between 2 weeks and a month if we go off of historical data. Again, any of that could totally change. But then typically, and I'm going to assume that this one's going to take 2 to 3 months, that Power Surge is going to take roughly that long inside of PTB and then gets pushed into main branch. But as we've seen with Oceanbound, which was a quite complicated update, it definitely did not take 3 months. So I don't even think it really officially did. Did it take 2 months? It was like, I think it was like a month and a half, maybe. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, so yeah, we're mad excited for that. Power Surge is definitely going to be a big part of it, not only for gameplay, which we'll go over a couple little examples here. But Power Surge is a big deal because not only is it going to change the gameplay, but I think that's one of the main pieces that custom servers really need for them to, not successfully, but to confidently say, hey, these are the memory requirements. This is what it looks like in the wild, running full bore and all the different systems core and all that good stuff. So yeah, basically we're sitting here at orange waiting for Power Surge, but I think anywhere during the Power Surge section, or even it could be a little bit after, I think we're going to see or hear something about custom servers. And here's why. There's a lot of different things going on with Power Surge itself, and yes, you've got all these different components and all these active pieces that, yes, you're adding more things to the game itself, but most of the weight of this does go back on the servers itself, the actual servers, like in our case, the custom servers, right? Like when you run things like this, it has to keep track of tick rate and how much power goes down, how much power is coming into the windmill, how much power is being calculated here, and that's all done server side. That's not done on the client. So those things have to actively be maintained, and you know, this is just for one base and a couple of turrets, right? Like this doesn't necessarily represent everything that would be on a map, right? Because maps are huge. You know what I mean? Huge. By the way, this is a 4K map. So with that being said, I think, and this is the smart move, Power Surge has to come out and actively be running on their servers for them to be confident about memory. We already know memory is the biggest constraint for this. As far as custom servers are concerned, they want to make sure that, because you know, memory is the biggest cost, right? Like they want to make sure they have nice prices for this. And again, we have no idea what the prices are going to be, but it makes sense. They want to make sure performance runs well for all the different systems. But let's be honest, if you had this out and you're like, you know, you're paying like X amount, and then they're like, okay, now it's X plus 5 or plus 10, you'd be like, oh wait, that sucks. Like getting a price hike in the middle would not really sit well with the user base, so I can see why they want to see this actively running in the background. Again, this is me on the outside looking in saying this. I've got no inside track to that, but I do know how this runs over on the PC side. I remember when this came out on the PC. I know what it takes to run these on the backside, so I can only imagine what challenges they're facing. It's no small task to have Power Surge running, but it is fantastic. So basically, if you could summarize this, you could say that Power Surge needs to run well for a period of time, whether that's on PTB or actively in live branch, for them to feel more confident about them moving forward with the custom server stuff. Now, there's way more to custom servers than just some Power Surge stuff, but Power Surge is definitely a big part of it because there's so much server-side stuff running. So I think, again, when we see Power Surge kind of slide in PTB, I think we'll see or hear something more specifically about custom servers. And you know, like, this is about custom servers, but we're going to go over some more Power Surge stuff. But just remember, there is a separate team working on custom servers. There's no reason why they would delay this. I think they want this as bad as we do. But you know, just looking at some of the requirements for this. Whoops, let me go ahead and flip back up here. Again, that's an admin tool thing right there. Whoop, whoop. I think... yeah, Power Surge, once this kind of comes through, we're going to see more bits and pieces for custom servers. And again, since it is a separate team, it could happen at any time. And I think they'll let us know as we get closer. But remember, we had things like the different testing pieces for cargo ship. We got to see actively PvE zones and then a moving PvP zone. And then they switched it in the middle of the event, which was amazing. If we had that kind of granularity, you know, whether it comes out immediately or later, we're definitely going to run stuff like that on our own servers as well. Like, we're going to be running at least 2 variants, by the way, of our own custom servers. One's going to be an event server that would have that type of thing in there, and then the other one's going to be a bi-weekly standard rates kind of thing. So again, if you don't want to pay money for a custom server, which is totally understandable, especially, you know, things being what they are nowadays, you know, come by our servers and check it out if you want to, you know what I mean? And those event servers will be doing a lot of live streams and stuff from there as well, making content, just having a good time with the user base. User base sounds our community, and I guess it is the user base too. But yeah, you get the idea. So basically, stay tuned for this. Custom servers are so much closer as Power Surge comes in. I think we see the performance on PTB, I think we're going to have a better idea of what we're looking at. Because basically, if Power Surge has some hiccups as far as performance or some server lag, then I think they're going to have to dial that in and stuff, and then we'll have to kind of see where that goes from there. And hopefully they communicate with us, because even having like a light roadmap here has been a huge help, I think, for the community. It's been a huge help for us, especially since we've lived through all the PC changes. We kind of know what's coming through the pipeline, so... you know, we'd like to make sure that you guys know as well, because we're playing the console version just like you guys are. So, yeah, another reason why we're mad excited for this. Okay, so that's the custom server piece. Again, kind of TPD, to be determined, to be TBA, to be announced. But yeah, let's go over some of this Power Surge stuff and why you should care about this. Whether you're going to be the electrician or not, it's going to affect you drastically. Okay, so real fast... because I don't want to make this terribly long, but I think we've already got on a rant about custom servers. But essentially, power is a new resource that you will have to manage. You have basic inputs, like a wind turbine here, a windmill. You've got solar power over here that is affected by daytime. You know, facing them in various directions will give you different outputs. Remember, we have a day and night cycle, so things will change for the solar panels and for the wind. The height of the wind turbine makes a difference. Also obstructions. And these do, even though these do generate power overnight, they are variable. So they both kind of have like a crazy up and down. So you want to make sure that you're storing said power. And one of the places you can do that, or 3 of the places you can do that, is going to be the batteries. You've got small, medium, and large. And again, you're going to have to maintain how much your draw is. So like, here's the other thing too. And again, this is just going to be a basic rundown. I'll show you a couple of quick examples and then we'll wrap this one up. But this is what's coming for us on the next PTB branch. So like, wrap your head around it. We'll be doing plenty of this kind of stuff live on stream, plenty of like videos and stuff. So, you know, stay tuned for that. Good reason to subscribe. But yeah, so wait, I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So, you know, think about it. When you're a solo or even just like a group, before, these things would always be on, but now it has a cost. Each one of these is going to cost you 10 power units, right? So, like, just to have this on, and we have a draw of 32 active units, and then look at our charge left, and we actually have power going into this. Like, check that out. We can only run these for 5.5 hours. Yeah. So think about that for a second. Like, when you sign out, like, how are these going to stay on? Like, if you're not constantly generating power, like, how are you going to keep these on? So it does become a thing to, like, hey, how are we going to turn these on? How are you going to manage that power? Because you only have 5.5 hours, so you need different ways to turn them on and off, turn them on when you need them. How are you going to store up that much power, 9,000 Rust watt minutes? because that's a big deal. You know, you've got things like the gas generator, the small generator, that could help with that too. But you know, depending on how many turrets you have, it can really put you back. And these are only 3 turrets. I know most of us have about 3 turrets on a base if you've been on a server for a hot second. So yeah, that's one major thing that you guys need to start thinking about. You know, and it's good for people raiding too. Like, look out, the first week is going to be madness. There's going to be so many people that don't have these plugged in right or have these on all the time, and you'll come in and you'll see a bunch of this. Watch, ready? You'll see something that's like a power drain, where it's like this, it's going on and off a bunch, and the turrets aren't working. They're just doing that, and you're like, cool, we can just walk in. Like, look out for it. It's going to happen a lot, because people won't understand, you know, that if they leave it on for a long period of time, it's going to drain it, and then none of the turrets will work. So, you know, just some cool stuff to think about. It definitely makes raiding a lot more interesting. Even the resource gathering for power, I think, is a ton of fun. Just like Farming 2.0 is going to be a lot of fun. By the way, Farming 2.0's dependency is power. It will need power. It uses the same system for the piping and stuff in the background. It also needs power, like the actual electricity. So lots of cool things can come forward after Power Surge is settled in. Possibly modular cars. Again, the car lift uses power. Yeah, Power Surge is probably one of the biggest things, even though a lot of people are like, you know, I'm kind of so-so about the electricity. It's going to change the way you raid. It's going to change the way you defend. It's going to add so much more content for us. Believe me, you'll like it. So here's another quick note, and we're not sure about this. Again, this could be 2 different variations. This could either just be the one that comes with the AK inside and you don't get to add a weapon, or we will get the updated version where it's got the different weapons that you can put in there. They did say initially, and this was about a year ago, they said the first one they're going to bring in is not the weapon exchange, just the one that comes with one, and you have to add ammo, but you definitely have to power these. So I'm going to assume it's that, but I mean, since this has been cooking for roughly a year, maybe we'll have the customization for the weapons. If we do get that in our initial push, just remember, this is a way to customize your turret. You can stick on attachments. You can do all kinds of wild stuff. Yes, that's an M249 turret with a silencer. Wrap your head around it. Mind blown. Like, oh my goodness, that's insane, right? Like, yeah, that's as cool as you think it is. And it doesn't take durability either. So either way, so like if this comes in initially, awesome. We'll definitely show you some really cool setups for it, especially if you're not going to be an electrician. If you don't want to like deal with it, we'll show you some good examples. But, you know, it will come eventually. So, you know, either way, wrap your head around it. It's going to be fantastic. And yes, a bolty turret is as gross as you think it is. And then let's just show you a couple other quick examples here. I don't think we'll get Rust Plus initially, and I don't know what their plan is for that. If you're unsure what Rust Plus is, it is the application that runs on your phone, so you can do things. But here's an example that you will have, that we will currently have. This is currently sitting in our version main branch right now. This broadcaster is sitting in there when you do oil rig. But this is how this thing works. You can actually trigger it through a wireless transmitter that is sold at the Bandit Camp. Here, it would help if I turn this on. Or not Bandit Camp, I'm sorry, Outpost. So think about this. You're coming back on a boat, and you need your door open. I can't think of a better way to do it than with a remote switch. Yeah, these are all things that will come in with Power Surge or electricity. So think about that for a second. Like, yeah, your little boathouse, having it open. How many times you come back from cargo ship and got lit up because that door wouldn't open fast enough? You know, it happens. And now think about this, not only the turret situation over here, you know, creating different power backups and different ways to turn on and trigger your turrets themselves. But think about this. How many times have you like, man, there's so many doors in my base. How do I close them automatically? And this one we've cooked up live on stream. Like, look, I've got a sensor that automatically detected me, but I also have a timer running that will close the doors automatically when I back all the way out. So take a look. I'll back up a little bit, and they should all shut after, I think it's 15 seconds. So obviously, like, it's just showing you what you can do. As far as applying it, it would be slightly different than this, but like, you've got all kinds of possibilities. Think about this. Lots of people are like, hey, trap bases. Yeah, I feel you on that. We're going to do those. They're amazing. And it just adds so much more gameplay, not only for the collection and the resource of electricity, but like different things, quality of life in your bases, how creative people can get. I'm really excited for Power Surge, and I hope you guys are too. And yeah, just letting you know that this is going to be the next big PTB update, and it is such a critical part of custom servers, along with other things. But it's an exciting time. Like, if they get this Power Surge in and it starts to run well, we've got some really, really cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So yeah, if you're out there playing cargo ship now, and you need yourself a fantastical group water bunker base that's cargo ship ready, look no further than the silo. I will go ahead and link that now in the end screen. We'll see you guys in the next one.